So I'm continuing my 7th house series. For this video, we're going to talk about Leo 7th house. Before I get into it, feel free to like and subscribe if you feel so inclined or you enjoy my content. You can also leave me a comment letting me know if you resonate with this video. I also have my email in the description if you have any questions. I also have my website there for anyone who wants to book a reading, and I just started an email list. So if you subscribe to my email list, you get exclusive offers and exclusive astrological insight. Okay, let's get into it. So Leo 7th house it's a fun one, but it does come with some warnings basically. So in early romantic development, you might attract partners who are babyish, okay? You might attract selfish, stingy partners. And this is just because in early romantic development, you can attract people that exhibit more of those unfavorable Leo qualities. So you can attract partners who throw temper tantrums. You can attract partners who are overly possessive, partners with very big egos. You can also attract partners who feel threatened by you, jealous of you, partners who try to compete with you, partners who, like, if you're having a good day, they have to find a way to ruin your day, dim your spark. If you have a celebration coming up, like a birthday, for example, they will do everything in their power to make sure that day doesn't go as you planned. So that's the tricky thing here is in early romantic development, you need boundaries. And not only do you need boundaries, I'd say more than that, you need to nurture your self-esteem. You cannot rely on validation from your relationships, from your partners, because that's kind of a losing game. Now, that said, you do need boundaries to avoid the childish, temper tantrum, babyish suitors, okay? Avoid those people. And avoid people, again, who make you feel like you also have to compete for their affection. Like, you don't want to be in a relationship where you feel the love is conditional. Like, oh, my partner's only going to show me affection if I do X, Y, Z. You want to avoid those scenarios. Now, in a favorable expression, once you have boundaries, once you nurture your self-esteem, and once you learn how to steer clear of the childish suitors that you can potentially attract in early romantic development, then you can access the more generous and favorable components of Leo energy. So this can include having a partner who is exceptionally generous, very, very kind, very, very affectionate. So a partner who enjoys gift giving, a partner who enjoys, affirming you with their words, with their language. So that's the other thing here is when it comes to your love language, for those that have Leo 7th house, prominent love language here is words of affirmation and also gift giving. So it's not about necessarily, when it comes to gift giving, it's not about getting things materially, but it's about knowing that your partner thought about you and saw something and said, oh, okay. Like it's similar to acts of service in the sense that you feel like your partner is thinking of you and thinking about something that's going to make you happy, but it differs because gifts are more fun. Leo, very celebratory, very joyous. Gifts are just fun. Who doesn't love opening a gift? So gift giving is important. So if you are dating someone with Leo 7th house, take notes, okay? Gift give, words of affirmation, celebrate them. That is what Leo 7th house needs in a relationship. So in a favorable expression, you can go on to attract a partner who really respects that language of love that you speak and that you need. So that's a great thing here. Your partner can also be very joyous, very fun to be around, very exciting. Now, Leo 7th house, favorable or unfavorable, it doesn't even matter. You can attract a stubborn partner. This isn't necessarily a cause for concern. Fixed signs are just stubborn. It is what it is. So you can attract a stubborn partner. You just want to make sure you're steering clear of an arrogant partner. So it's okay to have a stubborn partner. It is what it is. If anything, sometimes that can just mean that they're really passionate about what they believe in. They hold true to their boundaries. They are unwavering in the sense that they don't let other people determine their worth. They can also just be stubborn when it comes to the things they like. They like what they like. So they can be kind of picky. But you want to avoid partners who are arrogant, which kind of ties back to what I was saying earlier about avoiding childish suitors. Now, speaking of children, if you have a Leo 7th house, this bodes really well for having children because Leo rules over children and creativity. So similar to Cancer 7th house, this can note having children with your spouse. So definitely a great thing. Now, here's the deal. For some Leo 7th housers, this is one of those things that will come down to free will. So on one hand, it's a green flag. It shows that you can have children with your spouse. You can marry someone who wants a family. But for some people with Leo 7th house, they can be kind of in a position in life where it reminds me of what Kim Cattrall said. I don't know if she has Leo 7th, but I know she's a Leo. And there's a famous quote by her that's like, I'm at a point in my life where I don't want to do anything that doesn't like feel good, doesn't please me, doesn't serve me. This is very verbatim, but basically if you have a Leo 7th house, you might not want kids because you don't want anything intruding upon your freedom, basically. You don't want anything in your life that's going to interrupt your plans, that's going to distract you from honing and expressing your talents, that's going to potentially alter your identity, your self-expression, because let's be real, when you become a parent, a lot of people lose sight of themselves. Obviously, this is something you can manage, but it's hard. So someone with Leo 7th might opt out of that experience altogether. But at the end of the day, that's a free will thing. So I'm just kind of letting you know, if you don't want kids, I can understand why. If you do want kids, I can also understand that perspective, because Leo 7th house, very fun, very childlike. They enjoy having children around. So it's normal to want to start a family, and you can definitely attract a partner who is in very much alignment with the desire to start a family as well. Now, you might also attract a partner who is very much in the spotlight. This could note having a partner who is in demand socially. They have a lot of friends, they have a very active social life, they know a lot of people. This is a partner too who kind of almost acts as the, what's the word I'm looking for? They're like the mayor of the town. Like, they're very well acquainted with everybody. They know everything. They know all the great food spots. They know all the great little hidden gems where they live. Like, they're very just in tune with their environment and their community in a favorable expression. So when you're 7th house Leo, when you get with your person, sometimes it might even feel like you have a key to the city. Like, there's kind of this sense of feeling very special, feeling almost honored in a way. Like, there's a mutual sense of, I feel honored to be with you. And you can attract a partner whose career puts them into the limelight in some case. This doesn't necessarily mean you're going to marry a celebrity, but it does mean you might marry a partner who has a front-facing career. Like, maybe they have to speak to the public in some ways. Maybe they want to work in politics. Maybe they have a very creative field that allows them to share their talents and their skills outward with others. This could also note in some cases like marrying an entrepreneur, being with someone who just wants to take ownership basically of everything in their life. They don't really want to have to answer to anybody else. That's where that stubborn nature of Leo can come into play. They don't want to have to bow. It's not even about bowing down, I guess, but they want to just do what they want to do, basically. So your partner can embody a lot of those themes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all. It can definitely be like a fun, exciting relationship, and you get the best of both worlds because you can have the fun, fun, spontaneous, dynamic lover, but then you can also have the family man, the family girl, whatever, the trophy partner who wants the fun and also wants the family. So your partner can just be really almost kind of lighthearted in that way, where they just want the best of what life has to offer them. I do kind of want to circle back to what I was saying earlier about certain partners you probably want to avoid. And I think an important thing I kind of skipped over, but I'm sure you could kind of draw the assumption, you really want to avoid partners with self-esteem issues. You really want to avoid partners who lack a sense of personal security. Now, look, we all have our own baggage. I'm not saying you have to find the perfect person who's completely comfortable and confident in themselves 24/7. That's unrealistic, but you don't want to be with like a sap You don't want to be with someone who drains you of your energy. You don't want to be with someone who drains you of your goals, of your excitement and joy for the future. You don't want to be with someone who like whines and complains and feels like they're not good enough, but is not taking any tangible steps to improving their circumstances in life or their self-esteem. You just don't want to be with those types of people. It's okay to be friends with those types of people. Even that can be kind of draining, but you just want to steer clear of romantic partners like that because they're just going to drag you down. You get what I'm saying? So try to avoid that expression. Now, I also want to circle back to having kids and, the desire to have them or the lack of desire. If you are the type to not want to have children, this can kind of alter your love life a little bit for obvious reasons, in the sense that you're going to have to find a partner that doesn't want kids, but it does allow for that more lavish expression of Leo to take hold. So if you don't want children, you and your partner might have other priorities. You might be able to prioritize fun a little bit more. And you can also take on kind of like a power couple. So this can note working with your partner, being collaborators in other ways. Like if you're not going to be parents together, your time and your energy is kind of freed up to focus on other forms of partnership and collaboration. So this could note a creative collaboration with your partner. This can also note having shared hobbies, which can go for either archetype in terms of wanting kids or not. This can just note having shared hobbies with your partner. Maybe you both are very creative. Maybe you both just have very similar preferences in terms of what you enjoy doing in the world, the activities you like to do together. So there can be a similarity there. And Leo's 7th house also just bodes very well for marriage because of how, Leo energy also, Leo as a sign rules over the heart, that specific organ. So it is a romantic house. People that have a Leo influence 7th house, they love romance. They want romance. They want to be courted. They want to be fawned over. They want to be complimented. That's what they want. So if you're dating someone with Leo 7th, do not hesitate to kiss the ground that they walk on, basically. That is what they want. For the most part, unless they have something else going on in their chart, like something in aspect to their descendant or a certain celestial body in their 7th that could give them the ick, for the most part, they're okay with the princess treatment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even the men are good with the princess treatment, okay? So don't be afraid to just worship the ground they walk on and they will eat it up. I totally almost forgot to talk about this. If you have Leo 7th house, you can meet your partner at a social event. You can meet them out and about on the town. I know people say oh, you're not gonna meet your partner at a bar. Nah. What do you think this is? People meet at bars all the time and they go on to have happy relationships. Not everybody at the bar is pounding 20 beers and getting drunk and getting kicked out. Some people are literally just there to socialize. We're adults. Maybe a college bar, but we're adults. We go to sophisticated bars and clubs. We're not getting buck wild. I mean, maybe some people are, but for the most part, you can go to the bar and have a cocktail and meet a nice gentleman or a lovely woman. You can meet somebody at a bar. I don't care. Don't listen to that nonsense. I mean, yeah, maybe don't go to a bar with blaring music, but that would just be a loud nightclub. But you can go to a hotel bar, a sophisticated upscale drinking hole, whatever. Anyway, you can meet your partner out and about on the town, okay? If you want to go dancing, you can also take a dancing class. If you invest in your hobbies, you can also meet your partner around the time frame in which you're locking in. Take an art class, take a painting class, take an acting class, take an improv class. You can meet your partner in an environment where people are engaging creatively or have some type of shared hobby. You can meet your partner at a party, at a wedding, at someone's birthday, mutual friends, some type of celebration. You want to just go out and have fun, invest in your creative energy, and relax and unwind. Just go have a nice time. Okay, so that's everything I can immediately think of. Leo 7th house isn't really the most complicated. It's a good house for getting married. It's also a good house for maybe opting out of certain traditional norms, which you have to keep in mind. If you have a Leo 7th, you have an Aquarius 1st. So that's why I say, sometimes these people don't want kids. Sometimes they'd rather prioritize other experiences in their romantic life. So it's an interesting house. It does usually work in favor of, you know, getting married once. You'd have to have maybe Mercury in the 7th or moon in the 7th, like a moon in a Leo 7th, and that can kind of alter that expression, or Saturn in the 7th, but for the most part, you can get married once. Again, there's other factors that would have to be present. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I can think of. As always, you need the whole chart to know for sure, but that's the gist. So I hope this made sense. I hope this resonated, whether you have Leo 7th or you know someone with Leo 7th house, or you're married, you're crushing, whatever. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to leave me a comment, and you can also leave me a comment with any suggestions you might have about what you would like to see from me in the future. Again, all my contact stuff is in the description, as is my website, and my email listing is also on my website.